Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we are finally back to recording some new videos here. And yeah, you can hear my voice. It's still not 100%. There are going to be some coughs during this recording. Currently battling, or not currently battling, but I'm on the back half here of COVID for a third time, believe it or not. Vaccinated and boosted, and I don't want to get into the details, and I don't want to have that discussion, but apparently this illness likes my body. So it's been about 10 days since I've recorded a video. Had a couple recorded right before I got sick, so that was able to last me a few days, but it's been a few days without, so we are going to get back to it. And if recovering from COVID for a third time doesn't 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 deserve a like and a subscription and a comment on the video, I don't know what does. So yeah, guys, if you could like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and then again, join the Discord. I'll put the link in the description below. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. It's been like I said, it's been about 10, 11 days since I've been able to last record a video. It is currently Wednesday. The last video I recorded was the Saturday before last, right? Yeah, the Saturday before last. So it's been a while. Excuse me. And yeah, so we are into the off season with the Seattle Kraken. We are coming off back-to-back Stanley Cup Championships, and we go for a three-peat. And all I did in the last 10 days, as you can see, I signed some of our players who, our rights were expiring or something like that. We signed a bunch of them, or offered a bunch of them contracts. So we'll see if they come back. It'll give us some depth pieces like Luka Hauf as a backup piece might not be bad. Another goaltending prospect, Alexis Michaud, Grady Martin, Gabe Smith, and Mikko Jutinen. Put them in Coachella if they're not ready for the big team yet, but just to get us some depth. So the first thing I want to do is deal with the budget, so we can drop that down to 0. I want to keep morale where it is. We do have actually, let's take a look at that. We do have some harmony issues, as you can see. Gavin Hayes and Parker Rondo. The team hates them, it looks like. Hayes is not really somebody I want to trade, though. Those are really good offensive ratings. He had a difficult season this past season. Parker Rondo, he looks okay. I mean, he's only 20. 17 points in 48 games. Yeah, so we might be moving some of these players in order to eliminate some of the conflicts. I will intervene on the click, and apparently it didn't work. So now Shea Theodore doesn't like Travis Sanheim. Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. An attempt by captain to talk Parker Rondo into leaving his click has failed badly. Now all members of the click are upset with him. Okay, so we got some team harmony issues to deal with here, even after back-to-back Stanley Cup Championships. But those are things that we will deal with. So not a huge deal, but we will sort it out. Yeah. I want to look at the annual budget. Yeah. So we're gonna leave. Let's see. So we don't have a ton. I would like to add. Quality is poor, so let's improve the quality. Let's convert 380 regular seats to 190 premium. We don't need to spend money on marketing. We'll leave the budgets the way they are here. This is gonna end up at 0, and we're gonna have to drop back on wage and player development as we go forward. But for now, it's fine. This way, this will improve our arena a little bit. Right now, it's poor. Get some more premium seats that will hopefully generate some more money, or quote unquote points, which will allow us to work on that next year. So from here, we want to go into free agency. We'll deal with free agency first. We don't have a lot of money to spend really at all. But we have some players that we can potentially move if we find somebody who's a better fit. From a forward perspective, Oof. Shane Wright and Beniers, both their contracts are up this season. Yeah, Taves may be somebody we look to move. Let's look at our upcoming free agents. Oh, that's ugly. All right, so Shane Wright, what does he want? 5.965 for 4 years. Let's go out to 4. Let's start with this at 5. 0.8. Yeah, I mean, I think we can get him down to maybe 5.6 ish, 5.7 ish. 5.8. So let's bump this up to 5.5. Yep, 5.6. Okay, that's fine. So that saves us, $330,000 a year or something. And then Matty Beniers only wants a 2-year contract. He likes those short contracts. 7.155. So he only wants the 2 years. So I would like to get him for 7. So let's try 6.5. Might even be able to get him for less than that. Yep. Okay. So that saves us $400K there. Haltunen only scored 2 goals last year. Those are good ratings. Gavin Hayes. 2.9 for 3. 3.3 for 5. Okay. Maybe we do trade Gavin Hayes. We have a lot of young players that are kind of making their way up. Was Hayes a draft pick of ours, or was he a free agent signing? He was a free agent signing. So I don't really have I think Haltunen was the same, right? No, he was our 4th round pick. I'd rather keep Haltunen because he was one of ours. I'm okay trading Gavin Hayes. So make those signings. We are in pretty good shape defensively. Even if we move Taves, we've got Sanheim, Sharp, Theodore, Kiviharu, Hronik. And then in Coachella, we've got Lindstein and Wynot. So we wouldn't be as deep defensively if we traded Taves. But salary-wise, we don't have a ton of money. Maybe we can trade Hayes plus for a comparable young defenseman. That might be something we do. So let's take a look at let's go back to free agency. Excuse me. So you've got Drake Batherson, really good offensive talent. Oh man, really good offensive talent. What does he want? 7.2 for 6. I mean, that's not unreasonable. Patrick is more of a defensive minded guy. Then you got Samuel Girard. It's 5.8 for 3. We could replace Taves with Girard. Nico Hischier. Ratings are there for Nico. He's strictly a center, though, and we don't really need the help down the middle. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather take Batherson for the $7 million if I had to make that decision. Tyler Angle, Philip Keitel. Miles Lundqvist. Really good offensive defenseman. 4.6. Do we make a run at Batherson and Lundqvist? Not sure how we could make that work financially. Excuse me again. We certainly would have to move some pieces if we did that. Who's on the trade block? Nobody of note as of yet. Jason Lowry, I mean, that would give us some depth, but he's just okay. Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm being honest, that's not where I wanted to go. Excuse me. I like the idea of Batherson, and I like the idea of Lundqvist. He's passable defensively. He's really good offensively. And he's cheaper than Taves. So let's talk to him. 4.6 for 3 years. Let's offer him 4.5. He wants 5.3. Fine. We'll see what he says to that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to force us to make some moves for sure. So do we want someone like Batherson, or do we want to stick with our offensive lines the way they are? And obviously we're dealing with some injuries still. We've got David Kampf who's out, but our top line would still be Bedard. And I think offensively we're okay, especially if we bring in all those players that we had signed. We can look to then move Gavin Hayes maybe for our first round pick or something. So let's go ahead and advance to the next day. I would love to bring in Batherson. We'll keep an eye on his numbers and see if maybe he is if he doesn't sign right away. If he doesn't sign right away, maybe we can get him for less money, in a month or two or something. So yeah, it's been a really crappy week. Today I'm starting to feel a little bit more normal. The cough obviously is still there, but not nearly as bad as it has been. I haven't been sleeping much because it's been waking me up every 20 or 30 minutes. Last night was really the best night of sleep I've gotten in probably close to 2 weeks. So, yeah, starting to feel a little bit more normal. All right, so Nico Hischier, Chicago, New York, and Ottawa. All right, so one click broke up, a new click formed, one click grew larger, and another. Oh God, okay. So Lundqvist doesn't like our offer. Everybody else seems to be okay. What does he want now? 5.1. I'll give him 5. Will I? I don't think I will. I don't think I want to give him $5 million. But what we do need to do is figure this out. So we need to move Gavin Hayes. I think we move Gavin Hayes once we see where the where the draft lottery lands. Let's go ahead and sim ahead another day. I don't know that we're going to be all that active in free agency. I don't know that we need to be all that active in free agency this year. We're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. We are adding an influx of young talent. We may have to move some of our talent because everybody hates each other on the team, apparently, even though we are. So Alexis Michaud is somebody that I think he's another one that we drafted. Yep, he's another one that we drafted, and we're going to end up losing him because I didn't make the offer early enough. So, I maxed. Is this all maxed out? Yeah, it is. I don't think we're going to get Michaud, which kind of sucks. But again, my fault. I keep forgetting that there are players you have to sign before the year flips over. Last year we lost, I think it was Voulette. This year we're potentially going to lose Michaud, which isn't good considering he was our second round pick. But we will we'll deal with it. Yeah, I think Gavin Hayes is probably on the move. That will help the click. We may have to make one or two other moves. It looks like a lot of young players are unhappy with Shea Theodore, and I'm going to side with Theodore. So did I skip the lottery? I did. So we aren't picking in the first round. Picking 51st overall. So let's talk to the Capitals. Let's see if they'd be interested in giving up their first round pick for Gavin Hayes. I don't even know what's available in the draft. I just want to see if we can make something like this happen. Not well. Okay, that's fine. I just want to see if we can move into the first round. What about Philadelphia? It's 16. Philadelphia. Draft picks. Give me your first round pick. I will give you Gavin Hayes. Well balanced offer. Okay, so they like that. So we can move up to the 16th pick. Can we move up to 11 with Detroit? Oops. I want to try to move him to an Eastern Conference team just so that I don't have to deal with him. Okay, so it's somewhere between 11 and 16. And I might just be fine with the 16th pick, honestly. Let me go 12 with Ottawa. I mean, we'll try Ottawa, and if that doesn't work, I'll just go back to Philadelphia. Ottawa. Gavin Hayes. Draft picks. Have to increase it a little. What's a little? My 7th. My 6th. About my 5th. Okay, I'm fine with that. So Gavin Hayes in a 5th round pick gets us the number 12 overall pick in the draft. That moves us up. That should improve the team harmony some. The rest of this should fade relatively quickly. Yeah, they don't like Parker Rondeau, but he's listed as a leader. These should all fade fairly quickly. I think we're okay just making that deal. So we have a first and a couple of seconds now. So that may give us something interesting. It's not a very good draft. Yuck. Yeah, that's not a very good draft off the bat at all. That stinks that we have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds. Mock draft. Really, the mock draft has them taking a 1.5-star guy. Huh. Brendan McMorrow. Strictly a center, but I mean, pretty damn good. A lot of players that are ready. That might not be terrible, actually. I would like McMorrow. So let's go pick by pick here. Matt DeLay went to the Sharks. Swain. Michael Korek. Trilyayev, he was that top guy. Aiden McGregor. Karaba. Okay. All right, let's just get to our pick. All right, so Jaraj Rousa, Matthew Kuhn, Will Carson, Caden Acoyne, and Rodney West. All right, so we can take McMorrow if we want to, a 21-year-old out of Denver. Pretty good offensively, elite face-off potential, pretty good defensively. He's physical. The other options are to go with someone like Jacob Chromiak. 21-year-old. I suspect someone like Chromiak will be available later. Unlikely to develop much further. Parker Forlin. Wow, look at those offensive ratings. Okay. I have a feeling one of those guys will be there in the second round. So our scouts suggest the goalie, Patrick Kolomaznik, 18-year-old out of the Czech Republic. Excuse me. He's both the risky, the safe, and the scout suggestion. I mean, that tells me that he is the right pick. But wait a second. Where did all those I'm really confused. These guys not available this year? I am really, really confused. This isn't a great draft. Kind of want to trade out of it. Kind of want to trade out of it. But it's such a crapshoot, right? Like who do you trade with for the following season? I would like a young defenseman. So let's look at a team. It's not a good draft. I don't like that draft at all. Oh, Adam Fantilli's a monster. Wow. Do we have anybody? Flames, Josh Fluker. Wow, he looks really good. Carolina. Bolton Roberts. Sam Renzel, they wouldn't trade me him, but would you trade me him? For first and a second? No. Good to know. Excuse me. Blackhawks players. So really I'm looking at probably a 2.5 star, or excuse me, a 3.5 star guy, which wouldn't be all bad. Like someone maybe like Lucas Van Mullen. You just signed him recently. Okay. Reed Anderson. They're in win now mode, so they wouldn't want our draft picks. Balanced. I mean, balanced feels like the right move because if a team is rebuilding, they're not going to trade one of their young stars, but they might want the draft pick. Some Kulemans. Looks all right. Urasek looks pretty good. Detroit. Mort Sider. Holy crap. Wow, he's good. Lucas St. Louis looks just okay. I want someone who's a little more developed. Like I would like maybe like a 3-star, 3.5 star guy. Like I don't know if that's possible, but it's kind of my thought here. Byram are too weak. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to find a team that this works with, but we'll take a look here. So they're in rebuild mode after Jonas Wu. Lane Hudson, Terrell Goldsmith looks really good. Yeah, he's a top player. You don't want to move him. What about Hudson? All right, guys. We're going to make our pick. And we're going to take the goalie because that's who everybody says we should take. And yeah. All right. Excuse me. This is not a good draft. Yuck. Tatu Numanen, 13 offense, 14 physical. Looks okay. Puck handling skills, good stamina. He's still a ways away, and so the scout thinks we should take. All right. It's disappointing that this is such a bad draft, given that we finally had a chance. We finally had a first round pick for the first time in a couple of years. Nicolo Bardini, 18-year-old Italian. There you go. Phil Moody, 1-star, 2-star, but decent ratings for an 18-year-old. Plays for North Dakota. Do that. Take players that are a little bit more advanced, I guess. Using the ability rather than the potential. Just not overagers. Take Nicolo Bardini. So I don't know, we're in the 4th here. Yeah. Scout thinks we should take Olavi Ruolainen. Sure. 5th round. Kalervo Serenpa. Emmerich Bonnet. A lot of defensemen on this list. Might take Angel Perez out of Niagara. 11, 11, 12, 11. There you go. 19-year-old Simon Landon. Clarkson. Yeah, I mean, these players are unlikely to make it, but it's a possibility that some of them might develop. I mean, I've seen 6th-round picks develop in this playthrough specifically, so it's a possibility. Scout thinks we should take Emil Lindell. Who's the risky selection? Anur Fazlov, 6'2", 219-year-old, 20-year-old. Wow, it really doesn't matter, does it? Jesper Kotarva plays for Harvard. I like those college players. All right, so we're in the 7th round. Take an overager in the 7th round, and that's fine. Actually, it doesn't look like we have to. Steven Staranka, we'll take him. Excuse me. Okay, so not a great draft. A little disappointing. I guess I probably should have looked at the draft listing before making those picks. But that's fine. So we didn't have a top draft. We didn't have one of the worst drafts. Let's go to the next day. We'll get back into free agency here a little bit. Maybe try to move Devin Taves and then figure out our defense a little bit more. All right. So we signed. Okay, so we didn't sign Micho, which sucks. We didn't sign Lundqvist, which sucks. Hoff, Eridan, Martin, and Smith. So we did sign a bunch of players. So we have 25 players on our roster now. Eridan will likely go to Coachella to split time with Emil Vinny. Feels like he's at the wrong level. Okay. Anybody on the block? Okay, now we have some names on the block. Spencer Knight. Stutzley. Vinny Sorelli. I always, like, my eyes go right towards the forwards when it's really the defense help that we need, right? Andre Miller. And that's who I want, but I'm never going to be able to, I'm not going to be able to they're not going to trade him to me, not for Anton Lundell. Holy crap. I mean, let's just see. So I'm giving up. Right. Which isn't happening. Um. Hmm. Dard, Wright, Kiviharu, Beniers, and Sharp. 5 players I can't give up. That tells me that there's a way to make this work, maybe without giving up one of those players. Can't afford to give up Kiviharu or Sharp just because they're making no money, and I need players who are not making a lot of money. Gabe Smith, Grady Martin, Matthew Poitras, Noah Erliden, and a first-round pick for Anton Lundell. We'd have to re-sign him. But I don't care about Smith and Martin. These are players we just signed. Poitras is somebody we signed a couple of years ago. Erliden was he was a pick of ours, right? Yeah, 5th-round pick in 2023 and a first-round pick next season. Let's offer it. And then we'll deal with our forward lines afterwards. Excuse me. I want to see if we can make this work, see if we can sign, see if we can trade Devin Taves and then bring in a cheaper option at defense. Figure if we score 8 goals a game, it doesn't matter how bad our defense is, right? It's sort of the plan here. And then what I'll do is I'll sim the rest of the offseason offline, and the next episode will be the beginning of next year. Game is really thinking about it. My guess is I get the no way, but it's close to being okay kind of deal. So Nico Dawes traded to Dallas for Curtis Hall, and okay, well that's a salary dump. Next day, yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna get a no way, but that's close to being all right, and then maybe I can figure something else out. I like making splashes in the off season, right? Like that's fun to me. Carolina, New Jersey, and one of the New York teams are in on Spencer Knight. Should get an answer tomorrow, I'm assuming. And if I get the it's not going to happen, I may try to tweak it offline rather than have you guys sit here and watch me make the deals. Yep, that's kind of what I thought we were going to get. But it's close to being all right. So I have a feeling I can make this work. So I am actually going to call it an episode here, guys. We didn't do a ton. The draft wasn't overwhelmingly great, but we added some pieces, we added some depth, and I'm going to make a run here at Anton Lundell. Get him, stick him on that top line, and we are good to go. So that's going to do it here, guys. Yeah, I'm back, at least until I get sick again. But I'm back. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.